of the curvature of the Earth. Remember that? That's right. There apparently is a curve on the Earth.
Well, you know, it's true. And also, you know, the first civilization to introduce the globe was the Roman Empire.
Scientists themselves
right?
tell us that you have to be 50 miles up to be able to see the curvature of the globe.
And the Earth is...
Flat.
The Earth is flat.
My reality, my senses tell me that the Earth is flat and stationary.
Yeah, you see, I'm lost for words. It's probably the most nonsensical suggestion that a thinking human being could possibly make. It is drivel.
Flat Earth. It's one of those ideas that should have died out centuries ago, buried under the weight of maths, physics, and, you know, just look at a boat sailing away. And yet here we are. Whether it's taking a spirit level onto a plane to prove it flies level, or spending $20,000 on a ring laser gyroscope to prove the Earth isn't rotating.
Recently, we've carried out an experiment to test the rotation of the Earth. If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth.
But the only thing flat earthers have ever proved is that the Earth is definitely not flat.
But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift.
The contemporary flat earth movement, far from being a fringe belief held by isolated individuals, has blossomed into a formidable global online community. This digital spectacle is continuously fueled by an ever-growing deluge of YouTube proofs, captivating TikTok theories, and a persuasive, often deep-seated distrust of established governmental and scientific institutions. Its proponents convene at dedicated conventions and even conduct public experiments to validate their worldview. Yet it's crucial to understand that this phenomenon wasn't always relegated to the realm of modern conspiracy theories. In fact, the conceptual origins of a flat Earth considerably predate the current trend of eccentric online personalities and content creators who've come to define the modern flat Earth movement. But where did all this madness begin? Well, to answer that, I'm going to need to take you right back to the beginning. Very funny, I didn't mean that far. For millennia, humanity widely accepted the Earth as flat, and this wasn't due to a grand conspiracy, but rather simple common sense. Imagine living 4,000 years ago, your feet rested on flat ground, and the sun and moon traversed the flat horizon. Walking for hundreds of miles would reveal no curvature. Consequently, ancient civilizations such as the Babylonians and Egyptians depicted the world as a floating disk because it was their best interpretation based on direct observation. However, the ancient Greeks, with their characteristic intellectual curiosity, began to challenge these long-held beliefs. Philosophers like Pythagoras and Aristotle made astute observations. But the true breakthrough came with Eratosthenes, a Greek mathematician who, around 240 BC, ingeniously employed shadows and geometry. He not only deduced that the Earth was round, but also calculated its circumference with remarkable precision. His method was straightforward. He measured the shadows of two sticks in different cities at the same time and used the angle to determine the Earth's curve. Now, a quick online search for Eratosthenes' shadow experiment will confirm this proof. Science didn't merely hypothesize a spherical Earth, it conclusively demonstrated it, time and time again.
So tell me, Neil, is the Earth flat?
We have video from space of the rotating spherical Earth. The Earth is round. There are people who think Earth is flat,
Right.
but recognize that the moon is round. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and the sun are all spheres, but Earth is flat.
By the age of exploration, the scientific consensus firmly established the Earth as round. Figures like Ferdinand Magellan famously circumnavigated the globe, an endeavour entirely dependent on its spherical nature. The Enlightenment, coupled with advances in Newtonian physics and astronomy, completely eradicated any lingering doubt.
At the dawn of the space age, in the late 50s and 60s, we were able to see for ourselves that our beautiful home is a gorgeous round object known as a sphere. And that was really special. It put ourselves into context of our solar system and our universe. We have a big round sun and a beautiful round Earth and a round Mars. And today, we use the roundness of Earth, the spherical Earth, to use methods in space geodesy to figure out where we are, where we're going. I haven't been lost in years. That's pretty good. What's happening to the Earth? What's happening to our oceans as we take the pulse of our planet? And consider other worlds beyond as we explore those.
So, if science had already settled this with all the certainty of a sledgehammer to a teacup, why did Flat Earth come back? Enter the father of the modern Flat Earth movement and the original douche canoe, Samuel Rowbotham. Now, this guy was a real piece of work. In 1865, he published a book called Zetetic Astronomy, Earth Not a Globe. He was like the proto-YouTuber of his era, stirring up controversy for attention and cash. His whole method, which he called zetetic, was to rely on personal observation and dismiss what he couldn't see.
Yeah, everybody here can agree on absolutely one thing, which is it is not a globe.
His most famous work? The Bedford Level experiment. He claimed a 6-mile stretch of water was perfectly flat, and while observers using a telescope from a different perspective could clearly see the curvature, Rowbotham would just twist the evidence to fit his own worldview.
In the summer of 1838, Samuel Burley Rowbotham performed what has become known as the Bedford Level experiment. Standing in the middle of the Bedford Level Canal with a telescope, he was able to watch a friend row a boat along the length of the perfectly straight canal for 6 miles, where the boat should have been 16 feet below the horizon, thus proving that the Earth is flat.
And a simple Google search for the Bedford Level experiment will show you how thoroughly his work has been debunked. But he didn't care. He toured the country giving lectures and holding public debates with scientists, always arguing in bad faith, making wild claims that the audience, unfamiliar with the technical details, found compelling. Now, after his death, his work was carried on by people like Lady Elizabeth Blount, who started the Universal Zetetic Society. They kept the flame alive, but it was still very much a fringe belief, limited to a small group of highly eccentric people.
1, 2, 3, we're crazy!
Fast forward to the 1950s. A British sign painter named Samuel Shenton forms the International Flat Earth Research Society, and this is where things start to shift from fringe pseudoscience to full-blown conspiracy.
The first thing would have popped up into my head is like to just fucking shoot the moon. Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! It's the only way you could see the moon and the sun at the same time is if they were enclosed. When really, in reality, all we are is just a flat Earth covered with a dome. Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! That's the moon. Can you see that? Do you see that? Shoot it! Shoot it! Yeah, that's the day moon. Shoot it! Shoot it! Right there. And there's the sun. Shoot it!
The space race was beginning, and the US and the Soviets were throwing satellites and astronauts out into orbit.
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills.
Instead of seeing this as proof of a round Earth, Shenton saw it as a massive, elaborate hoax. And when Shenton passed away, the society was taken over by Charles K. Johnson, a man who, from 1972 until his death, ran the operation from his house in California. Johnson pushed the idea that all space exploration, NASA, the moon landings, the whole shebang, was a massive fabrication designed to deceive the public. He was the one who truly merged Flat Earth with the deep-seated distrust of government that we all know today. But the real game changer was the internet.
And when he shook my hand, I tell you something, I still feel it. I felt like you're shaking hands with the devil, right? I felt it. I'm very sensitive to energetic feelings. The same thing happened when McToon shook my hand.
This broadcast is for entertainment purposes only. That would be best. Thank you for watching.
I just stop this bullshit.
Now, in the early 2010s, with the rise of YouTube, forums and social media, this small, hobbling society got a brand new, unfiltered megaphone. The algorithms, which are designed to keep you watching, started connecting people who watched one conspiracy video after another, creating a rabbit hole that eventually led them straight to the flat earth. It created a community, a sense of belonging, and a way for believers to reinforce each other's biases without any outside challenge.
The 24-hour sun in Antarctica doesn't work on a flat earth. It works in the north, but not in the south. Well, guess what? There's thousands of videos of the 24-hour sun from Alaska and Norway and, very northern places. You can book vacations and go and watch it in June, right? But in December, the same thing should happen in Antarctica, and it doesn't. And there's 4 videos where they've clearly faked it.
Flat Earth went from a few hundred members to a global phenomenon in just a few short years. Now, just like any widespread infection, we needed a way to fight back. A new wave of camera-wielding fact-checkers rose to the challenge, though, leveraging the very platforms that fueled the conspiracy's growth. Channels such as Simon Dan, renowned for his meticulous breakdowns of pseudoscientific claims.
Can this flat earther do the impossible and make a model work? Let's find out.
Fight the Flat Earth, pioneering, directly addressing and refuting the core tenets of the Flat Earth belief.
I know for a fact that after December he's not going to be a Flat Earther anymore. This is the end of Jeranism being a Flat Earther. We're all seeing it live.
Dave McKeegan, who brought a relatable, often humorous perspective to complex scientific concepts.
Flat Earthers bring up flight routes and flight diversions as apparent proof that the Earth can't be a globe, though these usually involve some serious misrepresentations or misunderstandings.
And even my channel emerged from the sheer necessity to debunk the overwhelming volume of this absurdity. Now, the rapid growth of the debunking community is a direct and undeniable result of the conspiracy's unprecedented online proliferation. We are no longer confronting a handful of isolated eccentrics sharing fringe theories in a dusty old garage. We're battling a sophisticated digital algorithm that actively thrives on controversy, sensationalism, and engagement, regardless of the factual accuracy. This new landscape demands a multifaceted approach, and we're armed with a powerful arsenal, rigorous facts, unwavering reason, and crucially, a healthy dose of humour to keep ourselves and our audiences engaged in what can quite often feel like an uphill battle. Ever wondered who the hell Jack Shit actually is? Jack Shit is the only son of Oh Shit and Oh Shit. Oh Shit, the fertilizer magnate, married Oh Shit, the owner of Knee Deep in Shit Incorporated. And in turn, Jack Shit married No Shit, and the deeply religious couple produced 6 children. Holy Shit, Full of Shit, Give a Shit, Bullshit, and the twins Deep Shit and Dip Shit. All against her parents' objections, Deep Shit married Dumb Shit, a high school dropout. And after being married for 15 years, Jack and No Shit divorced. No Shit later married Mr. Sherlock, and because her kids were living with him and she wanted to keep her previous name, she was then known as No Shit Sherlock. Deep Shit married Load of Shit, and they produced a nervous son called Chicken Shit. Full of shit and give a shit were inseparable throughout childhood and subsequently married the Happens brothers in a dual ceremony. The wedding announcement in the local newspaper announced the Shit Happens wedding. They even created a bumper sticker and made millions. You've probably seen it.
He's a useless shite, that boy. Punish him for me, Errol.
The fight isn't just about presenting evidence, it's about engaging the audience, fostering critical thinking skills, and building resilience against the persuasive influence of online disinformation. Now, there's no denying that Flat Earth went from a genuine belief based on limited observations to a fringe pseudoscience kept alive by a few eccentrics to a full-blown internet conspiracy theory. But at every stage, it tells us less about the shape of our planet and more about the shape of human belief. It's a story about trusting your eyes over proven facts, about preferring a simple, even nonsensical explanation to a complex scientific one, and about how a shared identity rooted in opposition can be more powerful than objective truth. So maybe the real question isn't why do people think the Earth is flat? It's why do we keep needing to prove it isn't? And when do we get to just have a good laugh at the absurdity of it all?
The first thing would have popped up into my head is like to just fucking shoot the moon. Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! It's the only way you could see the moon and the sun at the same time is if they were enclosed. When really, in reality, all we are is just a flat Earth covered with a dome. Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it!
Please subscribe. Today's video promises to answer 35 flat Earth questions, but all it really does is prove they've got no clue how to answer any of them. The good news though, the answers are even more absurd than the claims themselves. So let's have a look, shall we?
Shut up and sit down, you big bald f***.
Please subscribe.
No one is 100% certain about what the flat Earth looks like, but the azimuthal equidistant projection map that is used by the USGS is the flat Earth map. The United Nations, oddly enough, uses the flat Earth map as its logo and divides it into 33 Masonic sections. The Gleason's map is also used as a representation of the flat Earth. On the flat Earth map, north is in the center, while south, or Antarctica, is surrounding Earth with the continents and oceans inside. Mercator's map from 1569 is also a flat Earth map showing a magnetic mountain in the north with 4 continents surrounding it. The ancients had their own depictions of a flat Earth.
Brilliant start. The AE map is a real and useful map projection, but it is not a flat Earth model. It's a mathematical projection of a sphere onto a flat surface. And the UN does use a polar AE projection in its logo, and it's surrounded by the 2 olive branches to symbolize peace. Now, the idea that it's divided into 33 Masonic sections is a completely fabricated conspiracy theory. It's a globe that symbolizes the UN's worldwide scope. If it were a secret society, wouldn't they use a more, secret symbol?
Where is the edge?
Who's to say there is an edge? Most people's first reaction to flat Earth is that there must be an edge, but is that because of how it is presented to us? On the current flat Earth model, there is no edge, but rather a 360-degree wall of ice surrounding Earth, holding the oceans in. Again, no one is 100% certain that this ice will exist, because for more than 50 years, there has existed an international Antarctic treaty stating that no civilian can travel there without government approval. There are pre-approved guide tours that exist, but they only go to coastal regions. Jarl Antoy was arrested and fined when he traveled to Antarctica without permission. We do have many pictures of the ice wall, but due to the treaty, we are restricted from going down there.
Well, there's a reason nobody's 100% certain about an ice wall, and it's because it doesn't exist. This is just a perfect example of a problem created out of thin air with a ridiculous solution attached. In reality, the oceans don't spill off the edge because there is no edge. They're held onto this spherical Earth by gravity.
Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
The so-called ice wall is just the continent of Antarctica.
Where is the sun on a flat Earth?
On the flat Earth model, the sun circles over the Earth in a clockwise manner and fades off into the vanishing point of perspective, or the horizon. The sun does not actually sink to the ground, but rather it gets further and further away until the observer can no longer see it. The sun is not 93 million miles away, as modern astronomers claim, but it is obviously closer and smaller. The sun only gives light to about half of the plane, while the other half is night. Although there has been much debate about this in the community, I think we can all agree that it is the sun circling above us, not the other way around.
This entire claim is a masterclass in trying to explain the unexplainable with junk science. The idea that a small, close sun vanishes into the vanishing point of perspective is a perfect example of a nonsensical explanation for a very simple reality. If the sun just got further away, it would look like a smaller and smaller dot, never actually disappearing below a horizon. The flat Earth model's small local sun fails spectacularly to explain a fundamental aspect of our world, seasons and day and night.
What about ships disappearing over the horizon?
Ships do not disappear over the horizon, but rather they disappear into the horizon, with the vanishing point of perspective. The argument of ships going over the curve can be easily debunked by using telescopes, binoculars, and good zoom cameras to bring ships back into view of the observer. No matter how good the zoom is on the camera, ships will never be able to be brought back into view if they went over the curve. This is proof that the ship only appeared to disappear because of vision and perspective, not the curve.
This is arguably the most famous flat Earth proof. But it's so easy to disprove. The vanishing point in linear perspective makes objects appear smaller and smaller, but it does not cause them to disappear from the bottom up. A ship sailing away on a flat plane would just keep getting smaller and smaller like a distant car, and it would always be visible in its entirety until it was just a tiny speck. Now, the fact that a ship's hull disappears from view before its mast proves that there's a physical object in the way. The curve of Earth, blocking the view.
Why can't I see across the oceans?
Just because the Earth is flat, that does not mean that your eyesight is infinite. The human eye can only see a certain amount of distance on a clear day, and even less on a cloudy day. It would be impossible to see across an entire ocean because the human eye cannot see that far. It has everything to do with perspective and nothing to do with the curvature of the Earth.
Another flat Earth classic that completely misses the point by ignoring the most important variable. Your height. Yeah, the human eye does have a limited range, obviously, but the reason you can't see across an entire ocean has nothing to do with that and everything to do with Earth's curvature. Think about it like this. We can see the sun, which is 93 million miles away, so the size of whatever you're looking at plays a huge role as well.
How is circumnavigation possible on a flat Earth?
On the flat Earth model, circumnavigation simply means traveling east to west. If you go east for long enough, you will end up back where you started, and the same goes for west. Ferdinand Magellan's journey, which was credited as the first circumnavigation of Earth, just circled from east to west around the flat Earth. This doesn't prove that the Earth is flat or spherical, because it can work for both models.
This is a perfect example of a half-truth being used to try and prove a whole lie, but the video conveniently leaves out the most crucial point. North-south circumnavigation is completely impossible on their model. Let us know when you figure that one out, flat earthers. There is no way to cross the North Pole, a flat continent at the centre, and then travel across an ice wall at the perimeter to come back on the other side. That single, easily verifiable fact completely demolishes flat Earth.
What about the Felix, the flat Earth?
This question is not possible to be answered because no human being knows what is underneath the Earth. The farthest any human being has ever dug is 8 miles, so not even heliocentrists know what's inside the Earth. When people think of a flat Earth, they think of a disk in outer space, but the whole concept of outer space is ludicrous with the ball Earth theory. Many ancient cultures across the plane support the notion of Earth being held upon pillars, but the fact of the matter is, no one can ever know for sure what is beneath the Earth.
Nothing. There's no underneath, because in the vacuum of space, where the Earth is, there is no up or down.
Does the flat Earth move?
No. On the flat Earth model, the Earth is stationary and is motionless. Earth is sitting still beneath our feet, and it is actually the celestial bodies, such as the sun, moon, and stars, that revolve around us. No one has ever, can ever, and will never experience motion from the Earth, which is astonishing because mainstream science says that the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour while hurtling 67,000 miles per hour around the sun, with the solar system shooting 500,000 miles per hour through the Milky Way, while traveling 670 million miles an hour through space. Yet we can feel none of this.
We only feel motion when there's a change in velocity, which is also known as acceleration. And if the Earth's speed was to change suddenly, it would be a very bad day for us all. And that 1,000 mile per hour that flat earthers love to quote, Now, whilst it's true, the reality is that equates to one rotation over a 24-hour period. Doesn't sound quite so fast when you say it like that, does it? It's almost as if flat earthers need to misrepresent reality to try and make established facts sound silly.
What about satellites, ISS, and the Hubble Space Telescope?
It might sound crazy at first, but satellites do not exist. NASA claims to have satellites, space stations, and telescopes out in outer space, sending back fake CGI images and videos for everyone to eat up. The truth is, however, these are all hoaxes. That explains all of the terrible CGI editing we receive.
Yeah, this one is so stupid it doesn't even deserve a response, but I will say this. CGI. For any of what you just said to be true, then that would have to mean that every single person on Earth who isn't a flat earther is a liar. And people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, should they?
Is the moonlight just reflection of the sun's light?
The light of the moon is totally different than that of the sun. The effects it has on plants and food is different, and even the temperature is different. In the sunlight, the shade is always cooler than the sunlight itself. However, in the moonlight, it is cooler, while in the shade it is warmer. The moonlight couldn't be reflecting the sun's light, because then it would have the same effects in temperature, but it appears the moon is emitting its own light, and is translucent. The phases are a function of the moon, and it is not a spherical ball of rock reflecting sunlight as we are told, but rather is a transparent, self-luminous disk. If the moon were a sphere, then we should be able to see the other side along with different faces, yet we see only one side. Not only that, but many people have taken images of the moon with stars being seen through it, and in the afternoon, you can see the blue sky right through the moon.
The claim that moonlight is not reflected sunlight because it's cooler is just another popular piece of flat earth lunar lunacy, and it completely misunderstands physics. The effects are different because the intensity of the light is different. Sunlight is thousands of times more intense than the light the moon reflects. And the idea of a transparent, self-luminous disk is just another fantasy. We've been there, whether you agree or not. And the reason we only ever see one side of the moon is not because it's a flat disk, but because of a phenomenon called tidal lock-in. Read a book or something.
What about stars? And does outer space even exist?
Yes and no. It is obvious that there are lights in the sky revolving above our heads called stars. But the mainstream version of what we believe about outer space is simply not true. The only reason we believe things about outer space is thanks to Hollywood, school science books, and government space agencies. No one knows for sure what those lights in the sky are, but all we do know is that they appear to be moving around us, and that we are in the center.
No, the idea that our understanding of space is a global conspiracy from Hollywood is a little bit childish, in my humble Welsh opinion, flat earthers. The existence of outer space, other planets, and distant galaxies is based on centuries of independent, verifiable, and overwhelming scientific evidence from telescopes, space probes, and satellite data. And these observations from the orbital mechanics of our own solar system to the cosmic microwave background radiation have been confirmed by countless scientists and research institutions all over the globe, none of whom are relying on a Hollywood script.
Why do the sun and moon appear to be the same size?
The sun and moon appear to be the same size because they are the same size. Mainstream science wants you to believe that the reason the sun and moon look like the same size is because the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon and 400 times farther away. They say that this is just a coincidence, but that is their way of trying to explain why they appear to be similar sizes. It is fairly obvious that the sun and moon are both circling overhead and are both equally balanced opposites and are the same size.
No, they aren't. And to be honest, I don't think I even need to explain why, because he just did, almost perfectly. But he then added, "nuh-uh," at the end of his sentence. So, thanks.
What about eclipses?
Many skeptics like to use eclipses as proof of a globular Earth because of the round shadow that is cast upon the lunar surface. They claim that the sun, Earth, and moon align in a perfect 180-degree syzygy, with the sun casting Earth's shadow on the moon. The only problem with this unproven theory is that over 50 times in the past 2,000 years, there have been lunar eclipses where the sun is still in the sky as the shadow is being cast upon the moon. This makes their theory impossible, because the sun would be behind the ball Earth in a straight line with the Earth and moon, making it the only way for the Earth's round shadow to be cast on the moon. However, in many eclipses, you can see the sun and the sky at the same time as the moon, so the angle of the 180-degree syzygy is not the case, and the round shadow on the moon couldn't possibly be from the Earth. The ancients had their own explanation for this, known as Rahu, or the Black Sun, which is a third celestial body we are not told about that eclipses the sun and moon and is the same size. Ancient cultures described Rahu as a dark body, and that it is what caused eclipses, not the Earth's shadow. Whether it is actually Rahu causing eclipses, I feel we need more evidence, but this was the explanation the ancients had for eclipses.
Skeptics do use eclipses as proof that the Earth is a globe because the perfectly round shadow cast on the moon is a key piece of evidence that the body cast in it is a sphere. And the claim that this is debunked by seeing the sun and the moon at the same time is a misunderstanding of a rare phenomenon called a selenilion, and it's actually proof of a spherical Earth and its atmosphere. The appeal to ancient myths as well about a black sun and Rahu causing eclipses is another example of flat earthers confusing mythology with reality. Now let's try and remember that at one point in time everyone thought the Earth was flat. Then we found out it wasn't. So flat earthers haven't exactly kept up with the current scientific consensus, have they?
What about the Coriolis effect?
One ball Earth proof is that sinks, drains, and toilets all spin one direction in the northern hemisphere, while in the southern hemisphere they spin the opposite direction. This is known as the Coriolis effect. However, in the same house, people can observe water draining in different directions. If water spinning in a direction was the primary result of Earth's motion, then water should never be seen spinning in different directions in the same hemisphere, yet this is exactly what occurs. The water will drain based on the shape of the basin or the direction the water is flowing in, but not because of the Earth's shape. This trick is easily done by pouring the water in and draining it in the same direction. This is just another excuse to keep the globe Earth model going and proves nothing.
Well, it proves flat earthers are stupid though, doesn't it? With actual science.
Are the other planets flat?
When comparing the amateur pictures and videos of what we know as planets, it is obvious that NASA's pictures of planets are CGI fakes. We don't even know what planets are, better yet what shape they are, other than that they are lights in the sky. Ancient cultures had their own description of what we would call planets. They knew planets as wandering stars, because they were lights in the sky, just like stars that wandered in their own unique paths different from the other stars. The word planet itself is just the word plane with a T added to the end of it. Planets, or wandering stars, are not what we have been told they are, and using lights in the sky to prove the shape of the Earth beneath your feet is not a valid argument to be made.
Right, well this one shouldn't take too long. The videos claim that the word planet comes from the word plane is a textbook example of false etymology. It's Greek, pal. Ancient cultures did refer to planets as wandering stars because they didn't have the tools to know what they were. Try and keep up, flat earthers, will you? It's 2025, not 1025.
What about gravity?
Gravity was originally thought of by Freemason Sir Isaac Newton, who claimed that instead of objects falling due to density, rather they fell due to a mystical pulling force in which a smaller object can be pulled or attracted to a bigger object. Of course, gravity can be observed nowhere in nature, and scientists claim to have recently discovered gravitational waves, yet they still can't even prove it with experiments.
The claim that gravity is a Freemason conspiracy is a complete and utter load of old shite. Isaac Newton, who was not a Freemason, defined gravity based on centuries of scientific observation. The entire argument is a rejection of basic observable physics. So once again, your debunk of reality boils down to telling the truth and then adding nuh-uh onto the end.
What
Good
about
job.
seasons?
Your family must be so proud of you.
What about seasons?
The sun circles over the Earth from tropic to tropic, so when the sun is circling at the Tropic of Cancer closest to the North Pole, or the center of the flat Earth, it is summer in the north and winter in the south. When the sun is circling nearest the southern Tropic of Capricorn, it is summer in the south and winter in the north. Since the sun is smaller and closer than we have been told, it is more logical to think that this is the reason why we have seasons. If the sun was 93 million miles away, we should very rarely experience temperature differences, better yet, not 4 distinct seasons.
Wow, the Flat Earth model's attempt to explain seasons is a perfect example of a theory collapsing under the weight of its own inconsistencies. Their model, you know, the one with a teeny weeny sun circling a magical space pizza, fails to explain some of the most basic and observable facts about the world. I'd love to hear him explain how his tiny sun gets the job done, though.
What about time zones?
The sun is not 93 million miles away like what we have been told, but rather it is close and circling above us. The sun cannot be observed from every angle at all times on the Earth as it passes by, so time zones are caused by its motion above us. Every 15-degree demarcation point around the circle is 1 hour, giving us different 1-hour time zones 24 times a day.
That's just a textbook example of using real fact to try and prove a fictional model. The video does correctly state that the time zones are based on 15-degree increments, but that system only works on a rotating spherical Earth. The idea of a small local, your tiny teeny sun circling above your magical space pizza would not create time zones as we know them.
What about the Moon and Mars landings?
NASA claims to have landed 6 of their Apollo moon missions on the moon.
Well, there's another one is pointless addressing, because as soon as you use the words NASA claim to, then I check out. Millions of people watched it happen live, pal. Grow up.
What about Foucault's pendulum?
Whose pendulum? Yeah, that proves the Earth is a globe as well.
How do you explain north and south on a flat Earth?
Badly. Next.
On the flat Earth, north would be at the center of the Earth, and south would be anywhere extending away from north. A compass will always point north, no matter where you are on Earth. The North Pole would be just how the ancient cultures knew it, magnetic north. The ancients called it magnetic north because they believed that towards the center of the flat plane, it acted like a magnet. This is why no matter where on our flat Earth, when you hold a compass, it will always point to north, which appears to act like a magnet, drawing you to that direction.
Well, what about explaining the existence of the South Pole then, and the verifiable fact that a compass can be used to travel south, away from the North Pole, from anywhere in the Southern Hemisphere?
What about meteors, comets, and craters?
We are told that craters are holes in the Earth caused by the impact of a meteor that has crashed onto Earth. Although this is what we are told, it is far more likely that these craters or holes are caused by gas bubbles from below the surface, or even a sinkhole.
Why do I keep doing this to myself? No. They aren't due to sinkholes, pal. Craters on Earth and other planets are verifiably caused by high-velocity impacts from meteors, asteroids and comets. I know, space is fake, blah, blah, blah.
Is there a dome over the flat Earth?
There were military operations conducted in the mid-1950s, such as Operation Fishbowl, where the military shot rockets up in the sky, and they exploded as if hitting a dome. What we do know is that many ancient cultures portrayed a dome above a flat geocentric Earth, and even the Bible speaks of a vaulted dome or firmament.
Well, why didn't you lead with that? I mean, if the Bible says there's a dome, then there must be. Right next to the talking bush. Operation Fishbowl was a series of high-altitude nuclear tests in 1962, and the rockets were designed to detonate in the upper atmosphere to study the effects of nuclear explosions on radio communications and the Earth's magnetic field. They didn't hit anything.
Is flat Earth only for religious people?
Sadly not.
Does the Bible say the Earth is flat?
Not only does the Bible mention a dome, but it also speaks of the Earth being on pillars, the sun and moon both being luminous bodies, and speaks of Eden as a paradise with 4 rivers flowing out of it.
Yeah, well, the Bible says a lot of things that are not true, so it's not really up there when it comes to being verifiable evidence, is it?
Why would they lie about flat Earth?
If you want to control someone, then the best thing to lie to them about is the very world they live upon. The world is run by psychopaths who want to keep us enslaved and lie to us. They tell us that we are just one out of a septillion other planets in space. They want us to think that we are meaningless and that we evolved from monkeys and that our lives have no purpose at all. They don't want us to know about our true origins, about where we live, about our creator, such as God, or even about our lives having meaning. They have made themselves as the highest authority and the keepers of the scientific knowledge, and we all work as their slaves from 9 to 5 every day, absorbing their lies as if it's truth.
That isn't even a scientific argument. It's a conspiracy theory that tries to connect a vast scientific model to a person's sense of purpose. The claim that the Earth's shape is a lie designed to make us feel meaningless is a philosophical argument, not a scientific one.
Are all scientists, pilots, engineers, and members of the government in on the lie?
No. Scientists, pilots, engineers, and even some members in the government in lower positions are not even aware of this massive deception. All these people went through the same garbage schoolbook lies and indoctrination that the rest of us did.
I'm starting to lose the will to live now, but at least he said no, they aren't all in on it, so that's a positive, I suppose.
Who is spreading the flat Earth message?
For great Flat Earth YouTube channels to check out. It took me about 8 months of research before I finally accepted the Flat Earth reality and decided to make Flat Earth videos.
Isn't it interesting with flat earthers, and I can't believe that was 35 questions, no wonder I got a headache coming on, but the standard of evidence required to show them that the Earth is flat is a lot lower than the standard of evidence they expect from us.
Out of everything that's on the internet, this is the best thing.
He's not operating a motor vehicle. He is transferring his private property from one place to the next.
Okay, well, he's going to jail for that. Go back there now.
Back here, you have a child. I'm going to take an educated guess that you saw hundreds of YouTube videos on this.
Today, we're dissecting a particularly special brand of social stupidity, and it's a twofer. This couple believes they're not driving a motor vehicle, they're just travelling in private property, whatever the hell that means. And the results, well, they're just as you'd expect, and nothing short of hilarious. So, shall we?
Shut up and sit down, you big bald f***.
Please subscribe. Another day and what should be another bog standard traffic stop, but little did this cop know that he's just pulled over the Jay-Z and Beyonce of sovereign citizens.
Alright, here's the thing, man. We've given you a lawful order. At this time, you are under arrest, okay? So, if you don't want to step out of the vehicle, we will remove you from the vehicle.
Well, this cop's not messing about, is he?
We would like to not do that, but if we have to, we will. I'm not threatening you, I'm explaining what's going on. At this point, your tires have deflation devices on them, so if you want to drive away, your tires are going to go flat as well.
Do you know, it always makes me laugh every time I cover a sovereign citizen's video. Why is he asking him, why are you threatening me? Now, he's not threatening you, but he's already had enough of you, because the second he walked up to your window, you basically said, yeah, I've got no license, no insurance, no registration, and now you're asking, what? I don't get it.
All right, step out of the vehicle. This is your last opportunity before we take you out of the vehicle. Last opportunity, man.
You're literally going to assault me?
Pop right.
223 on LE3 or Delta 110.
I just told you that.
Yeah, man.
You're not breaking the law.
Yeah, you are breaking.
Out of it. He's got a knife on him. Dude.
No, it's here. Here, what are you doing?
We told you you're under arrest.
For what?
Failure to apply lawful order.
I gave you my paperwork. I gave you Supreme Court paperwork. I'm merely traveling.
311 flat.
What have I done?
Single 14 window punch penalized.
Another thing I often wonder when I cover sovereign citizens is if their shtick has ever worked. Once. In the history of ever.
Deputy Gaddy's Fire County Sheriff's Office.
Don't take my keys out of my vehicle.
This vehicle's being towed.
Any weapons on you? No, I don't have any weapons.
10 car. Can you advise Delta 110 that Delta 311 is on a 250 with a sovereign citizen?
I'm not a sovereign citizen. I'm traveling in my private property.
All right, at this time you're under arrest.
For what?
Failure to comply, resisting arrest.
I didn't resist arrest.
All right,
sir.
we gave you lawful orders. We explained to you multiple times what was going to occur if you failed to act. We don't need to wait for a supervisor. All right? So we've given you lawful orders. We explained what the consequences of those orders are. You continue to refuse. So we did as minimal damage as necessary to remove you from the vehicle. At this time, you are under arrest. Okay?
Right, let's get the butt hurt out of the way early. No, I'm not American. And yes, we do have sovereign citizens. And yes, we do have sovereign citizens in the UK as well. But, in my humble Welsh opinion, for what it's worth, and this can be applied to any country, the second a cop pulls somebody over and hears the word sovereign citizens, then it should default straight to arrest. And Officer Sparky should get involved. Every time. Just to illustrate a zero-tolerance approach to anyone who calls themselves a sovereign citizen. So, I guess I'll see you all in the comments section.
I'm not contacting.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law.
Assaulted.
You have the right to have an attorney present during and before any questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one may be appointed to represent you. Anytime you can decide not to answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand that?
You assaulted me.
Do you understand that?
I overstand. I overstand.
You overstand?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Don't go to jail yourself by not listening, please. All right, do you have a driver's license or anything? Because if this vehicle's unregistered and you don't have a license, it's going to come with us. All right, it's coming with us.
Out of Waldo, Florida.
Okay, there's 2 other kids in the back.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not. I have 3 small children, and your officer just shattered this window.
Okay.
We have a right to travel in the state of Florida, which I'm pretty sure you're knowledgeable of.
Okay.
Everyone has a right to travel, everywhere in the world. But if you're travelling by means of driving a motor vehicle, then you need a valid licence.
You can start a tow truck for that vehicle.
Don't tow, please. Why are you going to tow my wife?
Games, we're done.
I'm not playing any games. I'm following the law.
No, we're done. We're not debating this, dude.
The United States.
We're not debating.
I'm not debating anything.
Cool.
I'm not. I am.
We're done with this conversation.
Well, if you were following the law, you would have just produced your driver's licence, wouldn't you? And you wouldn't now be modelling some swanky silver bracelets joined together by a chain.
So did they ask him to exit the vehicle?
Unlawfully, what did he need to exit the vehicle for? We had the window down and we're conversing with them.
Okay. So does he have a driver's license?
He has the right to travel and paperwork that says that.
Okay.
Which he handed to your officer, sheriff, deputy, whatever you guys want to be called.
Well, I guess we'll never know what was in those documents, but seeing as the Supreme Court ruled your pseudo-legal arguments are baseless, I would say you are breaking the law in many different ways.
I understand. Please don't leave my family on the side of the road. I might have misunderstood something, but come on, please.
We explained it extremely
Yeah, but I had
clearly.
my case law. I didn't think I was breaking the law. Please don't.
If you refuse to step out of the
But I
vehicle,
misunderstood.
We explained to you all this.
I'm telling you right now,
You probably should have listened the first
I was
time.
told, man.
World's tiniest violin. Boo-hoo.
You still have to have a driver's license in the state of Florida in order to operate a motor vehicle. You can travel wherever
He's not
you want.
operating a motor vehicle. He's
driving.
He is not driving. He is not operating a motor vehicle. He is transferring his property, his private property, from one place to the next.
Okay.
He is not driving.
Well, he's not now, but he was when the cop pulled him over, regardless of what you say. If you're sat on the left-hand side of a vehicle in America, with a big round thing in front of you and pedals on the floor which you push, then you're driving.
I'm in my mum's car. Broom, broom. Get out of my car!
Okay, well, he's going to jail for that, so
That's crazy.
It's not. It's really not.
It is crazy.
Well, seeing as driver's licenses were introduced to America in 1903, I think driving without one is slightly more crazy than getting arrested for driving without one.
Please, don't leave my family on the side of the road.
We'll take them to the Vanilla.
Please. Come on.
We're not here to play games.
I'm not trying to play any games. I wasn't playing any games.
Okay, that's fine.
Please.
At this time, I recommend you remain silent.
Have a seat.
He has all of our money, so I need the
Are all
car.
the kids okay?
No, they're not okay.
Because their father's a complete moron who thinks he can get away with driving illegally.
Ma'am, put the knife down. Put the knife down.
He asked if we had any
Okay, but
weapons.
don't grab a knife when we ask you if there's any weapons. Step away from the car now. Step away from the car. Do not grab a knife.
You asked me.
Go back there now.
Back here, you have a child. Can you, just stop?
Jesus Christ.
You have a child, and you're pulling
Are you
knives
okay,
out.
buddy?
Ask.
Yeah, ask. That's yes, sir. There's more knives in the car. Not, yes, sir, here's
You
a
have to
knife.
speak to them, Malachi. You guys ask.
We'll get you on the way, okay?
Where are you headed to?
Well, we were going to the beach, but I live in Waldo. So that's like an hour and 30 minutes from here that way. Yeah.
Do you want to use that to call someone to pick you up?
I literally don't know anyone. I'm from Washington State.
Okay. Well, welcome to Florida.
Would you like us to contact a taxi?
I don't have any money.
Well, that's weird. What about all the money you've saved by not registering your truck or paying for insurance or even having a valid driver's license?
We'll grab you his cash if he agrees to turn it over to you, okay? we'll turn over the cash if you agree so. Are you married?
No.
Okay.
We're common law. We've been together for 10
There's
years.
no common law in the state of Florida. But we're obviously not going to try and do our best to leave you stranded, so if he wants to turn over...
You guys are doing a fantastic job. Do not speak to anyone you don't know, ever.
She's wondering if you would be willing to turn over any cash that you have or
It's
anything
in my
for
briefcase.
her.
Briefcase?
It's in my briefcase.
For her to get a taxi cab.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
in my
fine with
briefcase.
you?
Yeah, yes.
Yes? Okay.
Besides that knife, are there any other weapons in the vehicle? Don't grab it, I'm asking.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, he has agreed to turn over any cash that he has to get you any rides back home, okay? Do you have like an Uber app or anything?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, today might be the first day we use one then.
Subject has a 1049 out of Georgia. It's limited extradition. It's going to be referenced to DUI, improper tires, DWSL, unregistered vehicle. Bond is going to be $1,000.
This is brilliant. So not only is he driving with no registration, no insurance, no driver's license, he's also wanted for a DUI and illegal tyres, which in the UK would be bald, like me.
Set it down very gently, open door, pull them out, cuff them right here, and that's where we're at. No violent anything, no, nothing like that. No spray of anything, just real kosher and easy going with everything.
So, real quick,
he was explained multiple times.
When you asked him to step out, obviously you identify yourself
Yes.
as law enforcement.
Yes.
And you asked
We
him...
even identified this case law, saying, hey, under this case law, you have to step out. And he said no.
Not identified case law.
Yeah, it's just on our body camera.
We're not here to debate that. That's
Of course, yeah, you'll argue semantics if it's you, but not if it's us.
You asked him to, and then you ordered him to get out?
Yeah, probably at least 5 times.
Okay.
So he's got all the new dash cam stuff. Everything's on video from us too, so it's all real kosher and everything. Tags obviously not registered. Nobody has driver's license.
Did we run the VIN?
Yeah, not registered or anything. So it's just rolling, no insurance, nothing.
Now call me an old man if you want to, and maybe it is because of my age, but I can't think of anything as embarrassing as what's happening to this young family right now. The kids are sat on the lay-by of what looks like a busy highway. I would want the ground to open up and swallow me whole.
I have a driver's license, you guys. God damn. Yeah. Oh. That dude's a moron. Because I don't have to, you guys are a corporation. I do not have to contract with you. If you need my driver's license to look me up, that's fine, but I wasn't operating this. Right. And neither was he. We were merely transferring our private property.
Now again, this may just be me and the way my mind works, but what would happen if the police pulled over a sovereign citizen who was driving a Tesla and the Tesla was in self-drive mode?
I mean, that's neither here nor there, because we're not going through all that stuff. That doesn't hold up in the courts. I'm just saying, it doesn't hold up in the court system. Okay? If it did, nobody would have a driver's license. It wouldn't be required.
You know, I think that might be the smartest way I have ever heard a cop explain to a sovereign citizen why they should have a driver's license.
So, I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, it is in the state of Florida. I can't tell you about any other state. Okay. So, do you have a driver's license in the vehicle?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in my wallet. That's in the back seat.
Okay.
You are under arrest, yes.
I know, but can I am I going to get a bond out?
Yeah, you should have a bond.
A bond?
Yeah.
Can I discuss something with her with you present? I just want to, so I can figure out how to get home.
Your bond's going to be at least $1,500.
$1,500?
Yeah, operating an unregistered motor vehicle, driving while you're suspended, and failure to comply with our lawful orders.
Okay, so
it's minimum $500 each.
There's nothing you can do, maybe $1,000?
Nope. That's a bond schedule set by the judges of this circuit.
Can she have my briefcase? Because I have a deed to my house. Would that be enough? I mean,
for what? For what?
To bond out.
I don't work for the bondsman. I don't know.
Well, I mean, could she have my briefcase?
Yeah, she can have whatever you want to turn over to her.
Can she drive the truck?
No, it's unregistered. You need to have a license plate on it. It's not insured. It has nothing valid in it.
You're saying that the United States Supreme Court cases are not real?
Not in this state, no. You see how there's 10 million people here that all obey the law? They don't do it just because they want to.
United States Supreme Court.
Okay.
I'm just really trying to figure it out. No, I don't want to argue. I was literally trying
Hundreds
to
of people go to jail for the same thing every single day, and it's been upheld numerous times. Okay. All right? You're not the only one in the state that says I don't have to register a vehicle. All right? Lots of people try it. Lots of people go to jail, and I feel like if that was the case at this point, the state of Florida, our Pam Bondi, she might not even be our attorney general anymore, but she would have put out some notice saying, hey, in the state of Florida, they don't have to register a vehicle.
Okay, that's fair,
we would have explained that on the side of the road when you got out, but I'm not going to stand here in the middle of the road arguing with you out a window.
No, of course.
Okay? So we
that.
gave you and explained to you multiple times the lawful order to exit your vehicle, and we even gave you the Pennsylvania MIMS, etc., letting you know.
Yeah, I know. I didn't hear what you said.
And you didn't want to listen to us.
No.
I told you if you do not step out of the vehicle, I would take you out of that vehicle.
Yes,
if
sir.
I have to go through a window to do that, I will.
Do you know, it's just hit me like a bolt of lightning. I can sum up sovereign citizens in a single word. They're just thick. Sorry, Americans, you may need to look that up, but they are thick.
Okay, that's where we're at the moment. These two are supervisors here. We can continue from there, but I'm not going to stay on this road anymore.
One last thing, though. Could I speak with her about?
We can talk about that. Her attitude has been very poor lately.
Let me help. Can I help, please?
Give us a minute.
It's a misunderstanding.
Give us a minute.
No, it is a misunderstanding.
Give us a minute.
Oh, yes, sir.
Give you a ride back to town right over here. It's about 2 miles into town. And we'll give you the money, whatnot you need. We'll take you to like a 24-hour restaurant or whatever you need so you can hang out until you get your ride, okay?
What about all my shit that's in the car?
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Next time, step out of the vehicle when you're given a lawful order. I don't know what to tell you.
That's a good burn.
You didn't tell me to do anything.
Well, we gave him multiple times. We just reviewed it on video with supervisors. We gave him at least 10 opportunities to step out.
Okay, but all my kids' stuff is in there.
All right, well, all I can tell you is in the future, make a better decision when you're given lawful orders.
I can't believe this dumbass is standing there arguing the toss. Hubby broke the law. Hubby's gone to jail. So if you're looking to point the finger of blame at anyone, maybe try his direction first.
You can grab whatever you can take with you. Or you can get it out of the tow yard down there. It's right in town as well.
I just want you to know that you're a major asshole.
I'm sorry
you
feel that way.
Beat it.
Do you know if there's one thing I've learned from sovereign citizens? I can't even think of anything stupid to say. That's how little I've learned from sovereign citizens. But I don't think calling the officer who's just arrested your husband an asshole is gonna help much. Just my opinion.
Okay, okay. First of all, I've been studying. Look, I've been led. People. Man, I don't even know how to say this. Look, what I'm trying to say is the laws, like the Supreme Court cases and all that stuff, I literally thought I was being lawful, compliant. I honestly thought that your supervisor was going to come and let me go.
Do you know, I think I actually believe him. He does genuinely seem to be of the opinion that he was doing nothing wrong, but it only demonstrates one thing, and that thing is that you should not be taking legal advice from morons on YouTube. I'm on YouTube, but I'm not a moron. Well, not as much of a moron as these people.
If you think you were doing something lawful, why would you not give me your name?
Because that's what I was told, that's how it works, that you can't that's why I kept saying I don't want to contract with you.
Okay.
Because that's what there's a lot of information out there, right?
And it's all wrong, if you still mean YouTube.
Well, I'm explaining to you, okay?
Yes, sir. I've been...
I told you, if you step out of the car, we could have had a civil conversation. I would have let you go, man. We would have figured something out about your truck, all right? And we probably cut you some tickets, and we could have gotten you out of here taken care of, okay? But you don't want to tell me your name. You didn't want to roll the window down and talk to me like an adult. And you tell me, speak louder.
I'm sorry.
That's what you say to me. You say, speak louder.
I am literally
okay?
sorry.
And we just watched the video multiple times. Hey, man, step out of the car. We'll talk to you civilly on the side. Why? Why?
No, I literally did not. Look, I literally thought that I was.
And I'm gonna take an educated guess that you saw hundreds of YouTube videos on this, and you see how it ends.
No, but they were ending differently. No, I mean they were ending
maybe
all enslaved. They let him go.
You nearly had me then. I almost was about to waste 3 hours of my life that I would never have got back looking for a video that probably doesn't exist. No, I don't think any sovereign citizen has ever been in the position where the policeman just went, yeah, that's fine, on your way.
Well, look, maybe they got different deputies.
Maybe
but
so. Well, it wasn't here.
So probably not, because I mean, we don't play that game, man. At the end of the day, dude.
Is there any chance you can go back in time, man, and just get not at all? My baby.
At the end of the day, man, Everybody out here pays their registration. Everybody out here pays their insurance. Everybody out here pays for a driver's license generally.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Everyone knows this is what you have to do. If there was some magic ticket that I could print out and I don't have to register my cars, believe you me, pal, I wouldn't have them registered. So, that's it. That's it. We'll do what we can to help out your is this your wife?
Yes, my wife.
We'll do what we can. Now, there's 3 cards in your wallet that have her name on it. Yep. You want her to have those?
Yes, please.
All right.
In my briefcase, please. That's all our money. And my deed to my house is in there.
Okay, well, she can have whatever she wants out of the truck.
Right.
I mean,
and my keys, the key to the truck also has the key to our other car.
Yeah, I know. I keep interrupting and I'm just making observations. But did he just say that he had all his money and the deeds to his house in a briefcase that he's got with him, or at least he had with him until he got arrested for not having a driver's license? I mean, what sort of idiot carries everything they own around in a briefcase?
Any chance at all that, you could chalk it up that I fucking believe some idiots that fucking,
you know, at the end of the day, you're a grown man.
No, I know.
You know, you're a grown man, and you have to realize that. I get it, but
dude, I'll never make a mistake like this again. Straight up, either way, whether you let me go or not. Please, my children, man.
Well, we're gonna help. We're gonna figure out where we can get them to make sure that they are safe. Okay, and that they have resources they can contact, okay?
Now, I know it hasn't been mentioned in this video, but I've done a bit of digging. And you know, it turns out that, yes, he was driving without the Florida driver's license. That much is a fact, and he deserves to be punished for not having a valid driver's license, in my opinion, again. But the truck and the registration of the truck, it was registered the whole time in his and his wife's name. So what would have just been a ticket for driving without a valid license became whatever the hell we just watched together. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again on Monday. Love you. Bye.
Out of everything that's on the internet, this is the best thing.
Oh yeah, just quickly before you all disappear, what do you call a magician who's lost his magic? Ian.
I don't think so. No, 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 I don't think so. No, 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 it's never, ever, 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 ever gonna